Today I am joined with a good friend of mine, Mr. Sam Pam Jim Tim.
Yay!
He is in the league, he's just a fan, in case anyone is curious, but we are
Yes.
just waiting on one person from Helheim to join back in because they were having an audio glitch. But anyway, so I've seen a bit of these teams, especially since Castillo Titans was formerly Castillo Calamity from last season, and Helheim was here last season. So these teams have shown exactly what they can do, but you haven't seen much of them. So I want to see
But
what
I've
you're thinking of right now based on just initial thoughts on
just
what
on
people play
characters thus
and
far?
yeah.
Well, honestly, I've seen that over time, like the composition is just switched, and I hate to say it, but DPS is kind of ruling the meta, and there's nothing to it. Like if you have strong DPS, everything will follow. So honestly, both teams have that set. So I don't know. Honestly. Oh, he's back. There he is.
Alright, I do believe both teams are ready. So, we will be getting started, and our first map will be Hollywood. I don't know, I kind of enjoy Hollywood. What about you? It,
Okay, there are so many good memories on this map. I can't even begin to. Okay, where do I start? Do I start with the Doomfist glitch or like there's so much to go on here. There's
oh, the
so
Doomfist
much.
glitch.
I remember doing that for like ages. It just firstly figuring it out and secondly just flying about the map as Doomfist just and then doing that on other maps. That was amazing.
It was so
But
upsetting
this
when they patched that.
I loved every second of it.
And then
Alright, so,
it was like that glitch on this map, and then it was on Anubis.
yep, those were the two. But you could also do it on a few other maps, but those were the big two that got really crazy. So, the the one big problem that I have in all of my competitive games playing on Hollywood here, especially on attack, this choke is a pain.
And it
But you
does
get
look like,
through it after like 3 minutes,
well, it's
which
from what
is
it's been looking like, it's been a little bit harder now, especially with the bunker comp that we see on Castillo Titans.
yeah, definitely. The bunker comp is just strong pick all around. It just overtook this entire season.
Yeah, I
My
think
buddy Ryan's gone. I'm sorry to say. It's sad. Sad to see him
yeah,
go,
it's
but
all about
bunker
the
comp is
Arisa
kind of here to
Roadhog,
stay.
which there's a few people that are happy about that. I mean, I kind of enjoy playing Arisa and Roadhog as much as the next guy, but Reinhardt's still fun.
But like, he'll come back in. I believe it. My boy will come back in.
Although it does look like Helheim's Genji is trying to get a little bit of a peek in here.
Ooh, ooh, he's getting a little aggressive. Oh, he quickly backed down though.
Decent
Good to
slow
save the team.
push coming out from Helheim. Trying to find their way in.
Ooh, the hook a bit too late for that follow-up.
Genji looking for an opportunity to get in there, most likely to try and get a support out.
Ooh, going around. Let's see. Does the Orisa notice that they're going around? Oh, starting to look.
Siscott, though,
Ooh, that's a
taking the
nice
first
pick
pick
from
of
the
this
Roadhog.
match. A nice
Oh,
pull, though, from the
not
Arisa,
bad.
although the Hanzo is going to fall to the Roadhog.
Ooh.
Although Helheim, though, is starting to make their presence onto this
Ooh,
point
oh,
known. An Immortality Field is taken down by the Genji. Massive fight coming out with the
I
Roadhogs coming
really
at
do
each other.
like this
Genji
too.
popping his Dragon Blade, though, is going to take out Miss Sugar Kicks the Baptiste as well as take out the
Nice.
Tracer, and it
That's control right there.
looks like
That was a
Helheim has
really
almost
nice
fully
push.
taken this point. Mercy falls, and that means this Orisa is going to fall shortly after. Roadhog being the
Helheim
only
did a
one left on the
really
point
nice
is
slow
not
push
going to
around the
last
back.
long, and it looks like he's trying to escape as much as he can.
Can I just comment on how good that slow push was from the back? They didn't all rush in at once. They stayed as a team, as you do with the bunker comp. You gotta stay as a team. If you don't, you lose it. and you just start to split up. Now, I think the other team could learn a bit from that because they were they're a little bit disorganized on that defense right there. I think that organization just sort of brought them together, and honestly, Genji just charged it up real quick and got
We do see an amplification matrix, which is going to cause the death of two people due to the soldier.
That is.
Make that four people taken out because of an amplification matrix, and it looks like Helheim is going to be forced to back out. Very aggressive push forward, though, coming out of Castillo. Attack visor is popped, but he is going to fall to the Genji. Genji, though, popping his Dragon Blade.
I don't know if I would have
looking to pick up the soldier again, but this time instead falls to him.
Very aggressive push. Nice pullback.
Now, sometimes aggressiveness can pay off, but you have to be incredibly careful when you're pushing into somebody's spawn.
That is definitely true.
A nice pull, though, from
like
Siscott.
That is beautiful.
And Lucio pops his sound barrier in order to allow his team to push forward a little bit more.
Very cheeky res.
However, the Orisa does not last long out of that res. It looks like Helheim is just going to keep this payload moving forward ever slowly. Castillo not really looking like they have an idea of how to hold them up. Although a nice sleep dart onto the Roadhog.
Really follow up well. Wow. That is some nice synergy right there.
Castillo looking like they're
the Roadhog got hooked.
continuing to move back ever so slightly. Baptiste uses his immortality field, but it falls fast.
Ooh,
Soldier popping his attack visor from the top.
Ooh, saw the Hanzo pop up. Started to run down. Ooh, it's not enough.
Helheim definitely showing a very strong offense on this map.
Very strong presence on the payload.
We do see a couple swaps over, though, with the Tracer and the McCree coming out for Castillo. Tracer especially could possibly help with contesting this payload a little bit. With a nice pick, though, from both those DPS, taking out the Hanzo and the Roadhog. Dragon Blade looking for picks. He is going to take out the Baptiste. But falls to the McCree.
Ooh, it looks like they're going to hold this point.
Nice stabilize for Castillo.
That was a nice switch on the Hammond. I think Roadhog just wasn't really doing it for them. It wasn't doing enough disrupts. So I think the switch onto Hammond just really brought in that extra tank presence that they needed.
And we do see the McCree come out, which has definitely made a comeback in competitive after his recent buff.
Ooh.
A nice pulse bomb, taking out 3 picks.
Tasty pulse bomb.
And a solid team kill for Castillo. Really well placed pulse.
That was delicious.
We do see, though, Castillo does have 2 ults online. However, Helheim has almost 4 ults coming online, with this Lucio ult coming up very fast. In fact, he has it now. Helheim might have a really strong chance to push in this. Dragons comes out. It is going to catch the Lucio, but a nice Deadeye from Boom! And that's basically going to stop Helheim's push with yet another team kill.
Helheim's just trying to go back to that payload, but they're just saying no again and again. Their DPS just won't let them touch it.
Helheim is going to switch over from the Orisa to a Reinhardt, though. That might change some things up a little bit. A little bit more aggressive composition might be what they need.
They're going to need a little bit more force to take back that payload.
Tracer with another pulse bomb for Castillo Titans. We do see the Soul Barrier come out with a Deadeye coming in. It is going to take out the Mercy. Tracer making yet another pick, but this McCree is definitely proving to be a very powerful asset for Helheim.
Ever since that buff they did to McCree's just been crazy DPS. It's been...
I'd say he's become a little bit more consistent.
I don't know about consistent, but it's just so good.
Valkyrie though coming out from Castillo Calamity with a whole hog kill coming in from Helheim.
Ooh, a Deadeye. Managed to use the Lucio, but not much else.
Helheim lost their healer, but Castillo has lost their main tank, who just got rezzed, and it looks like Helheim might be forced to back out of this once again. Helheim needs to get moving. They only have less than 10 seconds left. Hammond Mines though blocking the path with a Deadeye to zone them out, and Castillo takes this first round. Helheim though almost was able to push it all the way, but Castillo definitely brought it back together towards the end of that. I don't know. What do you think Helheim needs to do in order to hold Castillo back in this second round?
Well, Helheim was doing a really good job staying together, but at the same time, that's also the thing that brought them apart. So maybe a little bit more spread out on defense, because their attack was very nice, well situated, but sometimes you need to do a little bit more of a spread. You need to have a few people go on a bit of a flank. It's better to have 2 groups of 3 sometimes than to have a whole group of 6.
Anyways, we are coming in though to the second point, and it looks like Castillo is going to be running a Reinhardt Pharah Widow composition. Very old composition.
I like it. Old is good, I love it.
From what it looks like they've been planning on using the Lucio speed boost to boost them through that choke and just run with the Ryan Zarya to just make a very strong battery ram, basically.
Well, I mean, it's worked for several seasons, so I'd say it's not a bad strategy.
Although we do see the traditional bunker comp, though.
If there's anything to break through with bunker comp, though.
Although they do have Helheim though does have a Bastion, so it's definitely going to come down to that Pharah is targeting this Bastion down.
But they are staying grouped up quite a bit here, which will make opportunity for splash damage huge for that Pharah. It'll make EMPs really good for that Sombra there. Once that EMP goes off, that's going to be dangerous for Helheim here.
And that's going to be one of the key points in coming into this, attacking this bunker, is having that Sombra force this Bastion off the high ground.
Definitely. Because that Bastion is just putting some pressure on them.
And this is the more... this is the more regular composition we're seeing now in competitive. With the Bastion, Baptiste, Orisa, Roadhog, it's such a high damage output and such a little chance that this Bastion's gonna get forced away.
I don't know about you, but in my Masters games, I see Roadhog, Orisa, but I don't see a Bastion. I just see any other DPS. Symmetra, Hanzo, you name it, it's there.
Maybe this is the more common in lower tiers like I play in.
Nah, it sucks in Master, believe me. No one works together.
Castillo though looking like they're trying to push around Helheim, forcing that Bastion off high ground right away.
Making that
Reinhardt does get hooked and pulled, but it does not fall, and he just keeps moving towards that point.
The Bastion is hacked and the Pharah is pressuring him.
And Bastion will fall, but not to the Pharah, but instead to the Lucio, with Boom though taking out the Baptiste, and actual Cupcake taking out both the other tanks on her own. Well, not necessarily on her own, but...
That was a nice flank by Castillo there. Getting around their Bastion, just getting that flank, forcing them to move.
It was really well done, and it looks like the Sombra was already ready for that Bastion to drop, so she could hack him right away.
Not letting him back into Sentry form is a really big part of what kept that roll going.
An application
Keeping
matrix
that
still
damage
from
down.
Helheim. Doesn't look like you're gonna get too much use out of it though.
Seems like most of the team is off to the side, so there's not much out of it.
Although
like
we do see
Reinhardt
some, but
doesn't
they'll
like
take
that
out
shatter.
the McCree. Helheim switching over to Widowmaker to possibly try and contest this bar, which she is able to do so. Graviton Surge comes out. There is an Immortality Field there, but it does get hacked with that EMP. And a nice Rocket Barrage from Boom, and it looks like Castillo is just going to keep this payload moving with yet another team kill. I don't know, Castillo, Helheim in the beginning looks like they had the upper hand, but it looks like Castillo, though, is taking that back.
Indeed they are. That Bastion switched away. Their DPS has switched off to the pre-Widowmaker.
Zero comes onto the point with his Reinhardt and the Roadhog. Both teams are running a Reinhardt now. Boom, though, is going to take out Roadhog, and this payload is slowly moving forward with Lucio still being on it. Hacked onto the Reinhardt.
Same as they keep that momentum going.
Justice reigns from above.
Ooh,
Interesting rocket barrage from Boom. Does take out the Baptiste, but... McCree getting assaulted by a Sombra, and he is gonna fall. With the Pharah once again being resurrected. I feel like this constant stream of a nice Earth Shatter though, but a really strong Immortality Field to cancel that out as much as it could. And a Graviton Surge causes that death to that Lucio and the cap for Castillo Titans.
That was an overall close game.
It really was. Like, Castillo Titans had a few hiccups at the beginning, but once they figured out what they were doing wrong in these massive picks, really brought it back for them.
Helheim, again and again. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to get going soon, but
Aww.
I'm still here for a bit. But
I believe our next map though is Ilios.
Honestly, most of the games that I see here in the Overwatch League, if the teams went together and played competitive, I can tell you for sure they'd be playing at least GM level. Because I've seen some Masters games that are so much worse than this, and it disgusts me. And if you know anything about Masters, like low Masters is just diamond. It's just diamond. You get in the high Masters, you have a chance of playing with some decent team compositions. But other than that, you're playing with one tricks all the time. And yes, I've played games where it's just one healer, 5 DPS, both teams. And this was just, keep in mind, this was at 3700. This is like 3700. This was happening. I was playing a Lucio in that game because I was just like, I got to do something. I got to help the team somehow.
But anyway, how do you feel though about Ilios, especially if we could get possibly even the Well? I know Well is always a fun one to play on.
Well, Ilios here, there's always a few really good picks. You always love to see an Orisa. Roadhog's always a good backup, but Winston has also proved himself here. Lucio is always a must go-to here because Lucio has so much power. He's got that area healing, and then if he gets that boop, that's a free pick. And DPS from there, it's any choice. It's really any choice from here.
Although I do feel
But
like
still, those
oftentimes you see a Pharah come out since these are such wide open points.
yeah, but you got to be careful with some of them because the lighthouse in particular, that you just can't really get into with Farah. It just leaves no opportunity. You got the door in the top, but other than that, it's all inside.
Yeah, but especially on Ruins, though, Pharah is such a powerful pick when it comes to Ruins.
That is true. That is so wide open. It leaves so much room.
It's like, Ruins, I feel like the most common composition is with a Widow Pharah.
That is true.
But
I'm
both
gonna have
teams...
to leave you here.
Aww. Well, thanks for joining me for as long as you could.
Indeed. Have a good one.
You too. And it does look like both teams are ready to go, so we will get started with our second map being Ilios.
Now arriving at Ilios.
Now, as we were saying, Ilios, there's so many different compositions that you can run with. A dive composition with a Winston is beneficial if done properly. And it does look like we are going to be running with the Ruins first, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a Widow Pharah come out on this map. Although, there's a lot of other things that can be run, such as you can run the Soldier, Tracer, you can run Genji into this, which we've seen a few times throughout our league. It really comes down to whatever the DPS really want to play. But Ruins is a very wide open map, which is why Pharahs can be seen quite often, and there's just so much high ground and sightlines for Widowmaker that it makes it easy to get her picks without really being spotted. And it does look like, from Helheim at least, we are going to see the Widow Pharah with a Rein Zarya composition. Once again, a very old composition back from the early days in competitive, whereas when it comes to Castillo, we're going to see the Sombra Ashe, it looks like. It does look like Castillo does like the Sombra play, which is going to be very powerful coming up against this Pharah, as her hack can take Pharah completely out of the sky. And as they come out, it looks like Castillo is going to be running a dive competition with the Winston coming in. And already on the point for Castillo. It's more of a defensive game now than it is an offensive game. Reinhardt, though, gets bopped away, and it does make him an easy target. Pharah, though, is going to fall, though, to Boom, with Ace going to be taking out both the Reinhardt and the Widowmaker. And it looks like Castillo is taking this point very fast. Boom really being a strong player for Castillo right now. Taking out Sister Scott as well. As Pharah once again is going to fall. This time though, instead to Cupcake. Connor though is going to be able to take out the Lucio, and it does look like Castillo is going to continue this push forward, with picks still falling into their favor. Reinhardt charges, but is going to be hacked. He has Shatter, but he's not going to be able to use that in order to keep Castillo away. And Castillo continuing to hold right at the front of these doors. Almost 50% on their capture percentage. Sombra with an EMP ready to go. Possibly looking for a chance to use it. All 6 ults on the side of Castillo are up and ready. We do see, though, Widowmaker's Infersight did come out with a massive EMP. It caught 3 people with that. Self-destruct comes in. It is going to take out the Moira, with Boom taking out the Pharah once again. Pharah gets resurrected, with Boom taking out Mercy. And then once again taking out the Pharah, with Ace taking out the Widowmaker, and these picks are still falling into the side of Castillo, only using 3 ults it looks like to hold that. However, Helheim does have a Graviton Surge online now, so they might be able to make some of this happen if they can fade out this Lucio sound barrier. Valkyrie comes online with a massive Earth Shatter. It's gonna drop down both tanks, but Winston did pop his Primal Rage. Graviton Surge comes out with Bob coming in from Castillo. Bob laying in so much damage. Connor able to take the easy pick onto Sixcott, and the point is captured by Castillo. Very strong start for Castillo coming into this Ilio snap. Nice hold that stopped Helheim from really being able to do anything. Our next map, though, is going to be the Lighthouse, which it does look like there are going to be a few swaps over. The Pharah looks like it is going to stay on Helheim, at least for the time being. However, instead of the Reinhardt, we are going to see a Hammond come out. Actually, we're going to see a Hammond come out on both sides. Now, with 2-2-2 lock, there has to be 2 tanks, 2 supports, and 2 healers, or 2 DPS. Meaning that whatever role you're playing is basically the role you're stuck as. Let's see what these teams are going to do. Hammond jumping in first side of Helheim, it looks like. Lots of damage being done, but no picks so far. An attempted hook was onto the Tracer, but his Zero is going to fall to Boom. The Tracer, he is going to get res though. And it looks like Castillo is starting to make their presence onto this point. They did take out the Mercy, meaning that there is a lack of support from Helheim's side, and Miss Sugar Kicks is going to take out the enemy Tracer. A nice hook though. The Pulse Bomb comes out, but it does catch nobody, and it does look like that Helheim is going to be forced to back out for at least the time being. Tracer with a Pulse Bomb ready to go. Let's see if she's going to make anything come out of this. She does throw it down, but it does not hit the Mercy. Miss Sugar Kicks, though, getting yet another pick as this Lucio. Looking for these boosts hanging around this edge. Same with this Roadhog. Castillo just looking for the environmental kills. Hammond, though, from Helheim is starting to rush forward. It looks like that might be Castillo's. Hammond's trying to get into the void. A resurrect onto Siscott with Sunny falling to the Tracer, and this could be Helheim's opportunity to get back onto this point. We do see a Sombra come out from Helheim's side. Helheim's starting to cap. Roadhog has come on the point with Hammond ult coming in. An EMP though to try and lock this out. All the Hammond mines though were hacked due to that EMP, and each one of them was taken out, it looks like, by Castillo's Hammond ult. With a massive pick, with a nice double kill from Miss Sugar Kicks, and a pick of Zero's mines taking out the Mercy, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough as Castillo still has presence on this point. Actual Cupcake taking out yet another pick on that Mercy. And Castillo really being a strong player in this team. Yet another environmental kill from Castillo's Lucio. And it looks like Castillo is just going to hold this point at the highest that they can. A nice complete lockout, it looks like, from Castillo Titans on Ilios. And the score now is 2-0 in favor of Castillo. I don't know, at the beginning I thought Helheim might have a slight advantage from those first initial pushes on Hollywood, but it looks like Castillo is just replying with a big NO to Helheim, telling them exactly who's in charge of this match. Our third map, though, we are going to be going to everybody's favorite map, Horizon Lunar Colony. A map that there's so little diversity on that you basically come onto that map and you expect to see an Orisa Hog with 9 times out of 10 a bastion, especially in these lower ranks. Let's see, though, if any team is going to be making any subs. Castillo, though, really figured out what they needed to do in order to start taking this match over. And as we see, they are performing at an incredibly high, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it off the top of my head. But they're performing incredibly well. They're performing incredibly well. And it looks like Castillo might be able to take this. Although, Helheim, if they are able to take Horizon Lunar Colony, they would still be in this game. Meaning that it's possible we could be going to Busan for our 5th map. Anyways, after this, though, we will have one more game this evening, being that, let me just see who is playing it. It is Nocturnal versus Apollo 6 this evening at 6 o'clock. Which both those teams have performed decent from what I remember. It's going to be Nocturnal we did not see last week due to the opposing team needing to forfeit, but it is going to be interesting, though, to see if Nocturnal is going to come out with their first official win of the season after being able to play a game. And then we have Apollo 6, which I don't remember. I believe Apollo 6 won their last match last week. But I'm just waiting to see if Castillo Titans are ready to go. Castillo, though, is looking very, very strong in these maps. Helheim needs to start figuring out what they need to do differently in order to start banking up some wins. Early on, they were doing incredibly well, capitalizing off the weaknesses of Castillo, especially by targeting down their tanks. However, those tanks are starting to become very defensive at times, meaning that it's very hard for Helheim to really get in there and start making a massive push. Castillo then taking those opportunities just to aggress forward. It's a well-balanced attack that comes out of Castillo every single time. I would, though, be very excited to see if Helheim does force this into a map 5 scenario. Just waiting to see if Castillo Titans are ready to start this 3rd map of the season, of the series. Now, if Castillo does take this map, they will walk away with the match, meaning Helheim will be fighting for just map score. But we are going to see a couple swaps, though, come in for Castillo, with Shino and Griffin coming in for Snivy and Miss Sugar Kicks. And then both teams are ready to go. So our next map will be Horizon Lunar Colony, our assault map for this series.
Traveling to Horizon Lunar Colony.
After this, our final map of the season, of our series, will possibly be Dorado. However, if Helheim is able to take this, our possible final map will be Busan. Being that it is a control point map, it is impossible to draw on. Now, if there is a draw on this map, that means that Castillo is guaranteed the win, even if Helheim is able to force this to a draw. It will just purely be from map score at that point, although it will cause a little shakeup in the standings if Castillo is only able to take 2 maps instead of 3, with 1 being a draw. It does look like, though, from Castillo, we are going to be seeing a Zenyatta Moira from Shino and Griffin, whereas when it comes to the DPS, we're going to see an Ashe Junkrat instead of seeing the Bastion. We do see the Orisa here, but they're also going to be running a Hammond, which is going to be a strong pick in order to really disrupt any frontline push. However, on the side of Helheim, we're going to see a Genji, a Moira, a Lucio, with a Reinhardt, D.Va, and a Sombra. The Sombra most likely in anticipation for a very strong Bunker Bastion composition. So the Sombra, I don't know if it's going to stick around for too long. As Castillo's actually running a fairly spread out composition, meaning Sombra's EMP especially isn't going to get much use. Genji coming in right away again, starting to scope out exactly what he's able to do. Helheim sticking together just like they did on Hollywood. Hammond jumps in, and Helheim though immediately comes straight to point using the backside. With Sombra taking out the Junkrat, this is Helheim's chance to really take this point over from Castillo. With another pick from the Sombra, as well as Ace Gamer though taking down the Moira. Fight out on point with D.Va being demexed by Castillo's Orisa. However, Orisa is going to fall to Lucio. And it looks like Castillo is being forced away from this point with Hammond falling, and it looks like Helheim is going to make a quick capture onto this first point of Horizon Lunar Colony. Now that point can be very easy to push onto if done properly, which is exactly what you just saw from Helheim. They used that backside and used the advantage of Castillo being very split up in order to break forward into that point. I do see though, Sombra does have an EMP ready to go, with a self-destruct coming out from D.Va. Although we do see Boom though taking out the Genji, with Shino taking out the enemy's Moira. It looks like Bay is just going to stand still and just wait for their team to get back in pushing position. Helheim looking for their opportunity to really get in there. Sombra looking for a chance to get this EMP off. A D-Max D.Va D.Va looking to try and get her self-destruct very fast, with this Genji Blade coming online as very quickly as well. Helheim going to have a lot of ults, and Helheim immediately pushes through the center of the point. Keeping it that Orisa distracted was just enough for them to really get 4 people onto that point. Bob comes in, but an massive EMP is going to stop Castillo's chance of holding this point, with only the Hammond bombs being the chance of holding this right now. Although it looks like it might just be enough, as Helheim is forced off the point for the time being. A Dragon Blade comes out, but Genji will fall to the Hammond mines. Self-destruct comes in. It is going to take out the Junkrat, with Helheim still being on the point, but Castillo has 4 people there. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold this. D.Va is left there with her Moira, trying to keep her up as much as she can, as well as Lucio, but it looks like Helheim is being forced to back out. Shino taking out 2 picks, both demeching the D.Va and taking out the Moira, with Griffin coming in with the Coalescence, taking out Zero the D.Va. And Connor taking out Paul the Lucio, with these picks still falling into the favor of Castillo. Almost 2 ticks taken from Helheim on that push. They still have, though, just under 4 minutes to make a strong push onto this point. Those Hammond mines really came in at just the right moment for Castillo in order for them to hold this point, especially with taking out that Genji's Dragon Blade before it was really able to do anything. Helheim looking for their opportunity to get back in there. They do have a Earth Shatter ready to go, possibly looking for their chance to use this in order to make a massive push. D.Va self-destruct coming online very shortly, as well as Beyblade's Deadeye coming online very soon. Ace Gamer though is going to take down Marshadow once again, as well as another Hammond mine, locking out this Reinhardt, but not very much. Transcendence comes in, as well as a Riptire. Riptire is going to be taking out Siska, with the sound barrier is being popped from the side of Helheim, and it looks like they're using it to pull out. Almost 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Boom, being a very aggressive Junkrat, taking out that Lucio once again, although he is going to fall. Ace Gamer once again taking down Marshadow the Genji, and it looks like Castillo has won this fight and just looking to get some ult charge again. A nice remake for the D.Va. She has 83% to her self-destruct. possibly looking for their chance to use Earthshatter, Self-Destruct, or even Earthshatter Deadeye from Helheim. Although we do see 3 ults though on the side of Castillo. Deadeye comes in. It is going to take out the Hammond with Coalescence though, taking out Helheim's Lucio. Self-Destruct comes in. Very strong Self-Destruct, taking down both the Supercharger and the Orisa. And this could be Helheim's chance to really make some massive plays here. However, Genji once again is going to fall in the middle of his Dragon Blade with the Riptide, taking out Siska, as well as demeching the Diva. Baby Diva is not that much of a threat. And it looks like Helheim, once again, is forced to back out. Castillo, once again, really looked like they weren't going to be able to hold this point at the beginning, but now they are once again grouping up very strong and playing very defensively with each other, playing very smart and aggressively when they need to, and are still holding this point at a very decent rate. Almost 1 minute left on this clock for Helheim in order to cap this point. Although, we do see the Genji take out Griffin the Moira. The Genji starts coming in and aggressing and assaulting this Orisa. Orisa is going to fall to the McCree with a hack, though, onto the Genji. Genji isn't going to fall, though, and we do see a Deadeye come out. The Deadeye is going to be able to take down Connor, but without losing their own Moira in the process. Diva is hacked, though, and she is going to be demexed by the Coalescence. Transcendence comes out from Castillo to keep up his team. And it looks like they are using that to their advantage. By staying alive, they're able to take out 2 picks and then hacking the Genji and taking him out as well. Castillo holding this point, needing only 2 for another 30 seconds. If they can hold this, they just need to cap that first point and then gain 2 ticks onto the second point. Coalescence coming out from the Helheim as well as a sound barrier. This is their last chance to really make a push, but a massive hack taking out all 5 members of the Helheim. It does look like it is going to cause their deaths. A self-destruct comes in. It is going to catch nobody, but the remech onto the point, keeping this contest going as long as they can. Diva, though, is going to be demeched almost immediately with that supercharger. So much damage can be pumped down, and as OT ticks down, it looks like Castillo is able to hold. Very strong defense from Castillo, playing aggressively when they needed to, and very well use of ult economy.
Initiating match.
Helheim needing to figure out what they are doing wrong in order to really break up this defense. If they are able to hold this at this first point, then they will take this map and still be in this game. However, if they are unable to, then this will be a draw and a guaranteed win for Castillo, meaning Castillo just neither needs to win or force it to a draw. Meaning all Castillo really needs to do in order to win this match is take this first point. It looks like, though, from Castillo, we are going to see the classic comp of Rein Zarya with a Zen Mercy instead of the Moira. Whereas on the side of Helheim, we're going to see the bunker style composition come out once again. Instead of running the Bastion, we're going to see Ashe and McCree, the 2 Deadlock co-founders. Helheim looking like they're going to try and just hard hold this first point as best as they can. And some nice ranged tactics, and we're going to see the Baptiste and a Moira come out instead of a Lucio or a Mercy. Castillo staying relatively grouped up, with Widowmaker taking the early high ground, getting sight lines onto that point, with the Hanzo getting a nice Sonic Arrow in order to show exactly where Helheim is held up. Cupcake, though, getting the point very early with her Moira. It doesn't look like Helheim even notices that they've lost the backline and that Castillo was there. Helheim, though, immediately drops the point as soon as capture percentage starts coming out with a nice early pick onto the Zenyatta, and it looks like Castillo is going to back out almost immediately from this fight. Moira doing her best to get back to her team. She is going to fall to the Orisa. And Zarya does escape with her life. And it looks like Castillo is switching things up a little bit. Instead of they switched off Widow and went to a Genji, which definitely can help assault this front line a little bit easier. Genji, though, getting picked right away. We do see Bob ready to go from Helheim. Castillo looking for their opportunity to get in here. Zarya taking the lower side. With another pick from this Ashe. Ashe looking for her chance to take out this Genji. Genji does not fall. Instead, the Ashe is going to fall to the Hanzo. Earthshatter comes out from the side of Castillo. With a nice death onto the Baptiste as well as the Roadhog. We have a Coalescence though coming out from both sides. However, it is going to be Castillo's Coalescence that is going to be superior in this fight. And it looks like Castillo does indeed cap this point. Sorry about that. I had to plug in my headset as my battery was starting to run low. Although, it does look like, though, Castillo is starting to make an early advance onto this point. Bob, though, does come out on the side of Helheim and will take out the Genji. However, Castillo still coming up with the picks into their favorite. Dragons coming straight out into the middle of Helheim. However, that Immortality Field was placed just at the right time. It kept everybody up. Reinhardt assaulting as much as he can with the Genji coming back into this fight very quickly. McCree looking for his opportunities to take these supports out. Looking for these picks. And McCree will take out the Zenyatta. And it looks like Castillo has chosen to back out of this point and regroup. You can only really stay into this fight when you have enough people. We do have a Graviton Surge though online for the side of Castillo Titans. Let's see if Castillo is going to make anything work out of this. Although Zarya is going to fall early on, they do not have that Graviton Surge now. We do see an Earthshatter though coming online. 4 Castillo Titans, 4 ults though on the side of Helheim might be just what they need in order to keep this fight going. Zenyatta's ultimate is coming online as well for the side of Castillo. However, it is only at 75% and can only charge up so fast if you're not able to deal that damage. Castillo still looking for their opportunity to really push into this. Possibly waiting for this Zarya ult to be popped in order for them to really make an advance. Zarya ult is going to come out and catch the entire team with Genji's Dragon Blade coming in. An Immortality Field though keeping the team alive and causing the death to Genji due to the Ashe, with though taking out 2 people with his Storm Arrow, as well as Bob coming in is going to take out Cupcake, but that doesn't matter as the Coalescence is going to take out the tank with Boom, once again taking out the Ashe. Bob though will be taking out Boom. But it may not be enough for Castillo to really lose this point. 1 tick is already gained for Castillo with Roadhog, with Helheim though, coming back on very fast with these respawns. Although, Castillo does take another pick. With Bay taking 2 with this Tracer. She is going to fall with Castillo making the upper hand on this fight. Very strong pushes from Castillo right now. With this tick almost fully captured. 1.5. Almost there for Castillo to walk away with this map. Although Siska is going to take down Castillo's Reinhardt with the Micro Rockets and then taking out the Genji. An Immortality Field is going to be able to keep this Baby Diva and this Baptiste alive just long enough for that Graviton Surge to run out. With a nice pulse bomb onto Boom. Hammond coming back onto the point with Castillo though, still having a presence. These staggers are not enough for Helheim to really make an advantage onto this point and force Castillo off. Coalescence coming out from both sides, with the North Shadow coming out from Castillo, and another Dragon Blade from Castillo's Genji, but yet another Immortality Field cancels it out almost entirely, although it is able to take out the Moira, and Castillo is able to capture this point.
Play of the game.
Very, very strong from Castillo. It was so hard for them to really make any substantial push into Castillo's defense from Helheim, especially on that second play, but Castillo was really not letting those deaths cause any stop in their ability to cap that point, and they were able to cap in the end, meaning that the score is now 3-1. Helheim needs to take this map in order just for map score. However, our last map will be to Dorado. Did they run triple tank? Oh, I changed that. Because of the stupid setting. Oh, that stupid setting. When you change the maps, it changes. Although, it looks like Helheim may be forfeiting this last map. As it does not end just because anyway though, I'm thinking that I might have to do our MVPs then, which if Helheim has forfeited, which it looks like they have. So, when it comes to MVPs, though, I've got to give it to Boom HK for Castillo Titans, and then Blue for Helheim. Both of those DPS being very powerful DPS picks for both teams. Yeah, just for both teams. They were so strong in making these massive plays and basically helping those teams just overwhelm the other one at times. Anyways, congratulations to Castillo Titans. You will walk away with a 4-0 as Dorado is being forfeited by Helheim. So, and then congratulations to both Boom and Blue. Anyways, this has been the Frelegatron, and have a good one.